Hello everyone, this is Analyzing ETFs. I'm your host Dr. B. Today is episode number 29, recorded on July 10th, 2026. But today we're not going to talk about ETFs. We're going to talk about something else. But let me go over what I did a few weeks ago on low risk savings and investments. If you currently find a high yield savings, current rates are about 3 to 4.15%. With no minimum balance up to a $5,000 balance. You can find CDs, certificates of deposit, from 3.5% to 4.1%. And those are timeline from 6 months anywhere up to 4 years. You can also try to buy U.S. Treasury bonds with Treasury Direct. Current rates are about 3.6% to 4.9%. Now I get my information there from bankrate.com. And timeline for Treasury bonds was anywhere from 1 month up to 30 years. But today's investments are going to be about something different, because there are also low risk, high fixed income mutual funds that currently have SEC yields ranging from 3.29% to 3.58%. There are low-risk, high-fixed income mutual funds that currently have SEC yields ranging from 3.29% to 3.58%. These funds have adjusted expense ratios ranging from 0.11% to 0.42%. So the reason why I do prefer ETFs, because ETFs rates are a little bit lower. And they are as follows. The Vanguard Federal Money Market Fund, VMFXX. The Schwab Prime Advantage Money Market Investment Shares, SWVXX. And Fidelity Government Money Market Fund, ticker symbol SPAXX. Now, why do I bring these up? Well, if you're invested in a 403b or 401k, your employer may not permit you to buy ETFs, but they will permit you to buy money market accounts, or I should say mutual funds. So you want to look into these mutual funds, because they are mutual funds, but they are money market accounts. Mutual funds have a ticker symbol of 5 letters, whereas ETFs can have a ticker symbol from 3 to 4 letters. And the information I get here are from several sources. The first source will be from Vanguard.com, and this is the Vanguard Money Market Federal Money Market Fund. It is a taxable government money market fund. Total assets are $375.7 billion. So this is heavily invested by investors throughout the United States and throughout the world. However, there is a minimum investment of $3,000. The holdings are currently 16 U.S. Treasury bills at about 21.25% of the portfolio and cash reserves of 77.62%. The TTM yield is at 3.82%. Now, TTM stands for trailing 12 months yield. It is a backward-looking metric that reflects the actual percentage of income and investment, such as a stock, a mutual fund, or an ETF, has returned to investors over the past year. So this is a low risk and low return compared to equity funds. How low? Well, on a Vanguard scale of 1 to 5, this has a risk level of 1. Vanguard funds are classified as a conservative if their share prices are expected to remain stable or to fluctuate only slightly. The shares are only $1 a share. All these ETFs, or I should say all these mutual funds I show you, are $1 a share. Such funds may be appropriate for the short-term reserve portion of a long-term investment portfolio for investors with short-term investment horizons 3 years or less. Now, what we mean by that is simple. You should have, if you have an investment, I always say, have a total market or a 500 Standard & Poor's 500 or Vanguard 500 portfolio with some growth portfolio and of course exposure international. This right here acts, I guess you could say, as the icing on the cake. You do need to have some cash reserves, and the older you get, You need to have more cash reserves, not just for health, but also for travel needs and accessible money. You want to preserve your capital with high investments, with good investments, but you do need to have a money market account. Now, over the past 10 years, if you start with a $10,000 investment, your $10,000 would be worth about $12,593. Okay, now, the compound yield is currently 3.64%. The SEC yield is at 3.58%, and the adjusted expense ratio is at 0.11%. Now, here is money market account number 2. What if your money's in Schwab instead of Vanguard? You don't like Vanguard, you prefer Schwab. What's the advantage of having Schwab? Schwab has companies throughout the United States where you can walk into their buildings. Vanguard, you're not allowed to. Schwab, you make an appointment and you can walk into their offices. This is a Schwab Prime Advantage Money Market Investment Shares. It is a taxable money market account. Total assets are $390.6 billion. Yeah, I don't edit. However, there is no minimum investment. You don't need a $3,000 investment. You can start with just a couple of bucks. I recommend you do start with a solid minimum investment. Let's say $500. Holdings. This is made up of 3.1% fixed income and 96.8% of cash reserves. The trailing 12-month yield is 3.73%. This is also a low risk and low return compared to equity funds. SWVXX is designed for capital preservation and liquidity, typically earning a very low Morningstar rating of 0 out of 5 on the ESG risk rating, and a volatility rating of 0.29%. That is quite low. Now, how's it done so far? Well, the 10-year return, if you started with $10,000 10 years ago, your $10,000 today will be worth $12,543. Now, that's below the index of $12,758. The current 3-yield annual percentage rate is 4.55%, and the SEC yield is at 3.48%. The adjusted expense ratio is a little bit higher at 0.34%. And the last money market account I'm going to show you today is SPAXX, the Fidelity Government Money Market Account. Now, what if your employer only deals with Fidelity? So this is a taxable government money market account. And the information I do get is from the website below. Total assets is at $456 billion. So this is also heavily invested worldwide. Also, there is no minimum investment. And the holdings is comprised of 39% fixed income, and 61% cash. Fixed income is AA bonds. The trailing 12-month yield is at 3.54%. Okay, again, this is conservative risk and low return compared to equity funds. And on Morningstar, it doesn't even rate the risk. There is no risk to invest. It says it's going to be a low return compared to other mutual funds and other ETFs. Now, what has this done over 10 years? Not as well as Vanguard and as Schwab. This has only come up with a $10,000 investment of a $12,270 currently. But if you look at this wonderful curve, that's at a 45% angle because interest rates did go up since 2022. Now, are interest going to go up? You have to watch the Federal Reserve on that. Okay, currently we have a 4.35% 3-year annual percentage rate, and the SEC yield is at 3.29%. The adjusted expense ratio is at 0.42%, so that's a little bit higher than Vanguard and higher than Schwab. So again, once I always tell you this, I'll tell you this every single time. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Here's me in the Dead Sea 22 years ago. Oh, I look good. Hey, I was 38 years old. Worked out, had a trainer. Money market mutual funds. Safe, liquid, and smart. Once again, I have a new website. BeNice29.com. I hope you watch my website. Keep subscribing to my channel. Need more subscribers. I'm increasing a little bit every week, every month. Thank you so much for supporting. Please make comments and I'll respond in a timely manner. Everybody, take care. Enjoy the rest of your summer. I'll be back also with a new video probably after August 1st. We'll see. Take care. Bye-bye.